let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or do the unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, stream it every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers.
Assalamu alaikum. Please mark your calendars. Starting this Friday, March 1st, we will be replacing the 6 p.m. Eastern Aqidah class, Al-Wala Wal-Bara class, with a special program for the month of Ramadan. Please join Ustadah Laila Nasheeba for the first 7 days of Ramadan with a preparation course. Allow her to walk you every day after that with the fiqh of fasting. Don't forget, mark your calendars, and we're streaming it right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulallah. Before I even start my class, I have to apologize to everybody for being late. I know I'm, 2-3 hours late or something. Sorry. You guys remember we've been speaking about how we're now going into the third week. We're now going into the third week of Ramadan, the third week of fasting. Ramadan's almost over. For those of you, everybody should be happy. You halfway there, but sad too, because now it's going to get bittersweet. I told you guys the second week of fasting is where the work comes, because you have recognized what your weaknesses are. You have recognized what parts of yourself you need to work on Islamically. Well, I'm an example. I told you guys, whenever you go to sleep, your personal jinn, she ties knots in the back of your neck, and she moves from your heart to your upper nose, and she tries to tell you, oh, you feel so good. It's so warm. Don't wake up. You got more time. Your class ain't until 6 o'clock. You got a few more minutes. You can keep sleeping, Layla. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Sometimes we listen to that. And I was so tired from streaming, because I streamed Dr. Ali yesterday early in the morning and Dr. Asim and my classes. Then I had to wake up early. I didn't go to sleep till after Fajr, and I had to get up and do Dramali. So I haven't slept in 2 days, really. Well, I slept now. I made up for the 2 days worth of sleep today. So that's what happened. That's called procrastination. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. Your personal jinn will cause you to be lazy, to become lazy, to procrastinate, to put off doing good deeds. And that's something that I have to struggle with, waking up. When I go to sleep, I get comfortable and I'm at peace. I have, nice dreams, and all of a sudden, you got time, you got time, you got time. And boy, did I have time today. I woke up 5 minutes before it was time to break fast. Now, y'all know that's pathetic. That's pathetic. Easy fast. But look at my class. Subhanallah. So this is the work. The work is now beginning. That's what my weakness is. You may have another weakness. Everyone here, you have been with me on this journey since before Ramadan. So now, alhamdulillah, going into the third week, you know what your vices are. You know what your weaknesses are. Have you taken control of them? Or are you still falling into the traps of Shaytan? And let's talk about my smokers here. How's that going? One of the sisters, mashallah, I'm so proud of you, Sandra. Sandra's been with us for a while. She's a new convert. But alhamdulillah, she's been trying to kick the habit. You know, she attends all my classes. She attends Mukhtar's classes. So the Ramadan prep series I did, before Ramadan, I did a prep series. And I told the smokers that this is the best time to kick the habit because cigarettes are haram. And remember, I suggested that the smokers go out and buy the Nicoderm patches. And I told them to start now because the Nicoderm patch program is a 30-day program to take you away and off of smoking. Mashallah, Sister Sandra, she went and bought those patches. And how's that been going? Sandra said, mashallah, she don't even think about the cigarette much now. You know, the patches do not break your fast. You wear them every day. And each time you put a new one on, it's decreasing and decreasing and decreasing that desire, you know, for that nicotine. So right now, for those of you who've been doing the Nicoderm patch program, and I know it works because before I retired from my job, I didn't just work, you know, with the gin. But I was also a union steward. I was a union representative. And the state of Ohio passed laws against smoking in the workplace. So there's a lot of my coworkers had to learn how to quit smoking. And this is one of the programs we had. We had a lot of smoke cessation classes for them. And one of the things, and your insurance should cover it too, because the Nicoderm patch is not cheap. $50, $60, $100, it's expensive. But your insurance should cover it. Most insurances cover it. So I know that it works because many of my coworkers who got caught smoking, on the job, they had to go through smoke cessation and they tried that and it worked for them. Better than that hypnotizing. Forget about that hypnotizing. That hypnotizing ain't going to do nothing for you. You know, but the Nicoderm patch, it will wean you out of it. And Sandra is just now saying that it works. And it's all about having the desire, having the desire to want to obey Allah, having the desire to want to quit. Sandra don't want to go back to that filthy habit. She wants to quit. So that's why it's working so well for you. Alhamdulillah, I'm proud of you. Yes, she says she doesn't, in fact, she said when people come around her who do smoke, it makes her feel sick. And by the way, that's another thing too, Sandra. For those of you who are quitting the habit of smoking, you need to change the people you associate with. You shouldn't be around people who smoke. Smoking is haram. It's a sin. It's like being around people who drink. It's like being around people who do drugs. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we cannot sit at a table in which the people are being served alcohol. What does that mean? You can't be around people who are drinking. You can't be around people who are smoking. So change your friends, change the people that you associate with, because all that's going to do, a shaitan, your personal jinn, that's one of the traps of temptation. He will use that desire to smoke to take you back to it. So tell your family, Sandra, tell all your family members they cannot come around you if they're smoking. They are not welcome around you if they're smoking cigarettes. And that's how you block that. Remember, Allah says, do not go near that which is evil. Don't put yourself in situations that may ignite evil within you. So don't hang around people who smoke. Don't be around them. Don't go in places where they do that. Most places in America are smoke-free environments now because America's trying to stop that filthy habit. Too many people are dying from cancer and stuff. All right. So change your friendships. So everybody here should know what their vices are, what your personal vices are. And mashallah, you should be working on it like Sandra's working on hers, the cigarette. I'm working on mine, which is laziness when it comes to sleeping, oversleeping. Okay, Brother Ahmad, I see he's back. Yeah, Brother Ahmad, then you can pray sitting. If you can't pray standing, you can pray sitting. Yeah, remember, Allah makes this religion easy for us. We have to not be fanatical for ourselves. Okay? So, you can't fast because you're sick. So don't worry about the fasting. And as far as your prayer, if you can't pray standing, then pray sitting. Real easy. I can't pray sitting. I pray standing. I can't sit. So I pray doing all my rakat standing. So pray however you can. Nothing's wrong with that. All right. So everybody should know what their vices are. And I've been speaking about the different traps of Shaytan. Who can remember what are some of the traps of Shaytan that we talked about yesterday? Besides laziness and procrastination. Can anybody else think of any other traps that Shaytan lays for us? What about my Sunnah follower kids? Are there any of them here? What are some more traps that Shaytan lays for us to try to get us to go backwards? Besides making us lazy, tempting us to procrastinate and put off doing good deeds, or tempting us to go around people who sin so as we can be tempted to sin. Can any of you guys think of any other traps? Anyone? Wa alaikum salam from Twitch. I got some followers here on Twitch. Can you guys on Twitch think of any traps that Shaytan would lay for you?
I have.
Yeah, go ahead. Your mic went out, Latifa.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, they will get you to indulge in sins that they don't think are very big sins.
MashaAllah. Exactly, guys. This is another one of the traps of Shaytan. He will cause you to do sins that are not really big sins. He will try to make you think, well, this is not a bad sin. It's just I just shook hands. I just shook hands with my boss. Next thing you know, you'll be getting the boss's phone number or something. SubhanAllah. And by the way, are you guys strapped up in the Zoom room, fam? Are you guys strapped up? Stay strapped up in there. Okay. Awad, fam? Yeah, because y'all, I don't know.
Can you make Kwame a co-host? She's not a co-host.
Okay, yeah, because let me show you. I got a lot of people here from Twitch. Let me show some of the people here what some of the Twitch people are typing. Okay, wa alaikum salam. I hope that the kids on Twitch, I hope your Ramadan has been going good. I hope you guys on Twitch have been fasting. Doing what your mother asked you to do around the house. Where's Fatma? Here, Fatma. Get logged. Here you go. Okay, just in case. All right. And give me a second here to come back out of this. Y'all got to stay that way. Okay. So exactly, Shaytan will cause you to get caught up doing small sins, telling you, well, it's just a little sin, when all sins are actions of disobedience to Allah. All sins are actions of disobedience to Allah, and we have to remember that. Okay? What's another way that a Shaytan will trap us or dupe us? What's another way that Shaytan will trap and dupe us? Good job, Norto. Take care of The one that says they're hungry. The one that says they're hungry, ban that one. And all of them. The one that's all of them. Take care of them all, Norto. You can do them all. Good job. The sister here on Twitch, Shaytan wants you to not do your prayer because it helps you to leave Shaytan. Good job. You don't want to be a person like that. You don't want to listen to Shaytan and not perform your prayers. Shaytan is going to try to tempt you to break your fast too. So good job. Don't fall into that type of stuff. So today what I'm going to do is go over some more traps that Shaytan lays for us that we need to beware of as we go into this third week of fasting. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen, inshallah. Okay. For the kids, I want you kids to watch me on the big screen TV. Children, watch me on the big screen TV so you can really see the PowerPoint. And for the adults, inshallah, screenshot for the children so they can print everything out and review it later. Okay, so let me first start with this. Let me let y'all see the, yeah, we're almost there. Look, you guys get to see that moon? We're almost there. Ramadan's almost over. This is the third week we're going into. We'll be in the last 10 days soon. Did you guys realize that? And once the last 10 days begin, that's it. It goes by in a heartbeat. That's one of the signs of the last hour. One of the signs of the last hour is time will pass quickly. One day, now do y'all see what that hadith means? One day will seem to be to be a year, or a year will seem to pass by in one day. That's what that hadith means. It's showing how time travels, quickly. Okay, let's see. Everybody should be able to see my screen. And let me take care of this. Okay, here we go. So this is the 14th day of Ramadan, the year 2024. Another trap that Shaytan lays for most of us is extremism. I see a lot of my students like this. Brother Ahmad, I'm going to name y'all. Who suffers from extremism? Brother Ahmad. Who else? Sister Aya. Who else? Amina Fresno. Who else? Oh, yeah. Precious. Who else? I'm calling y'all out. Latifa. Who else? Okay. Is that a bad thing? Not really, unless you don't correct it. What happens is, guys, when your personal jinn looks in your heart and she sees that you have grown in your knowledge and your understanding of Allah, your personal jinn recognizes that your fitra has been lit. She's going to push you to become extreme. She's going to push you to think, well, even though you sick with the flu, Brother Ahmad, you should still fast because it's going to bring you closer to Allah. It's going to show Allah how strong you are. When she knows that that Allah hates a fanatic. Allah hates the fact that we don't take advantage of his concessions. So people who suffer with extremism are people whose faith is strong, but they haven't balanced it. Amina Fresno, she has strong iman, but she has to balance it. She can be too rough, too tough, too critical. Whenever we're too much of something, that's extremism. You're too harsh, too critical, too whatever. Balance it. Precious, her iman is strong right now. And I'm so proud of my Precious. She is precious. Her faith is so strong, but she can be a little bit extreme. But the thing about Precious is she's balancing it. She's balancing. I see how she balances it with her children. And I see how she's balancing it with herself. I'm proud of you, Precious. May Allah bless you and your sons, because you are an example of how to balance. Okay? So, extremism, that's one of the traps that Shaytan lays for us. And also, he makes the evil appear good. And he makes the good appear evil. So, we're going to talk about this today. This is what we have to be on guard against during this third week of Ramadan. And let's talk about how Shaytan, your personal jinn, will cause the evil to look good to you. Well, one of the early scholars, you guys, we talked about this briefly in our diluting well better class. Imam Kareem Abu Zayd, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd, may Allah bless him and reward him with paradise. Ameen. Okay. Kareem Abu Zayd put in his book, remember we were talking about it, how Ibn al-Qayyim, who was one of the students of Ibn Taymiyyah, he wrote a nice treatise, a nice treatise on how Shaytan allows the evil to appear good. Listen to what he said. He said, from his stratagem is that Iblis always bewitches the mind until he can deceive the person. No one is safe from his bewitching except those whom Allah wills to be safe. He makes good looking to the person what is harmful for him until the person will imagine that which is harmful to him to be good for him. And he makes the person run away from that which is good, thinking that it's harmful. Let me give an example. Daya, callers to Islam. We're living in the days of fitan that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us against. The days in which the Sunnah will become abandoned, replaced but with fatwa. The days in which Islam will appear strange. You find all these Muslims on the internet, on social media, giving lectures, calling you to Islam. But most of them are calling you away from that which is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with. They're calling you to things that are not true, to innovation, deviation. And then for the few good people of knowledge out there who are calling you to the truth, look how Iblis and his army of human devils will attack that person, will make you think that that person that's calling you to the truth is calling you to what is bad. You guys saw an example of that here at this website a few days ago. Some man who called himself an imam. He came into my stream. I'm teaching y'all the Quran and the Sunnah. I'm telling you what fi sabilillah means. Okay, what the scholars agree that fi sabilillah, what falls in that category. He tried to argue with me, debate with me. Then he started making fun of me. And that's an imam of a mosque. Okay. And then he slandered me. He went to his Facebook page and put up all kind of garbage about me. When that's what it is, it's garbage. So what did I do? You know, as a daya, we know we have to deal with that. You know, since people don't want to accept the hadith today, so I put up the 2 fatwas I put up. All you understand is a fatwas. Now, who's calling the people away? All the scholars agree what category is fi sabilillah. That's one of the basics when we talk about zakat, aqi. Okay? So now who's the demon? Now who's the person leading you to falsehood? So this is what Shaytan does. He will make that which is good for you appear to be evil. And he will make what is evil appear to be good. Your personal jinn bewitches the mind until your mind will follow different desires and different paths that will take you away from true Islam and from Allah. So we have to be on guard. That's why I tell you guys, be careful who you take your information and knowledge of Islam from. If they are not basing what they say on the evidence of the Quran and the Sunnah, then leave them alone. Leave these people alone. They're just denizens of Shaytan. Shaytan, your personal jinn, he will make appealing for you to worship idols. He will make it appealing for you to break the tie of kinship. Remember, guys, the kinship is under the throne of Allah. On the day of judgment, when each and every one of us has to walk across that Sirat bridge, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be standing on the opposite side. On his right will be truthfulness, and on his left will be the tie of kinship. And when you walk across that bridge, if you broke the ties of kinship, the kinship will speak. It will say, he cut the tie with his mother. He cut the tie with his cousin. He cut the tie with this. And you will lose your good deeds as a result, guys. Iblis knows that this is what will happen. So Iblis will do everything in his power, your personal jinn, everything if you're a female, everything in her power, if you're a male, everything in his power to get you to fall out with your family members. He'll also make it appealing for you to kill your children, to marry kafir women. This is a big thing nowadays. Look how many Muslim men are marrying kafir women when those women are not even lawful for them. Why? Because Allah didn't just say lawful for you or the women of the book, but there are stipulations to that too. Number one, she has to be chaste. Show me one chaste kafir woman. Number two, her heart should be inclined towards Islam. You brothers are marrying kafir women who hate Islam, who hate the Prophet, who make fun of our religion. That right there disqualifies them. But this is what your personal jinn will get you to do, to marry people you shouldn't marry. He'll also promise victory to you if you give in to your desires and disobey Allah. He will make you think that associating partners with Allah is favorable. He'll get you to reject Allah's attributes. For example, the fact that Allah has ears, Allah has eyes, Allah has hands, even though they're not like our ears, even though they're not like our hands, even though they're not like our eyes. But your personal jinn will get you to reject that. He will cause you to abandon all that is good. He will, and then on the day of judgment, guess what? Shaytan, Iblis will leave you standing. He will say to you, don't blame me. All I could do was suggest for you to disobey Allah. You chose to follow me. I couldn't make you do what you did. You chose it. And that's what Allah means when Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, oh believers, you are in charge of your own souls. You can't blame it on Shaytan. You can't blame it on the Imam. You chose to follow that Imam. You chose to listen to Iblis. You chose to follow your desires. So we have to be aware of these. These are all different traps that our personal jinn lays for us. Our personal jinn represents true hypocrisy, true disbelief, and he will do everything in his power to compromise your journey to paradise. We have to beware. And another deception that Iblis uses in his battle against us is, like I was giving the example of some of my students, like my student brother Ahmad. It's easy, for us to think that if I take the hard way, that shows I'm strong. Well, understand, guys, whenever the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the choice between things, he took the easy way. He never took the hard way. But your personal jinn will make you think, well, for example, I'm sick. I got a temperature of 104, but I'm still going to fast because this shows how strong I am. No. He knows that Allah is angry. Allah is going to ask you, why did you put yourself through that when I told you that you didn't have to fast? Why did you disobey me? So all you did is starve yourself. You ain't getting no reward for fasting when you're sick. And that's why I have to tell my students here, if y'all sick and you fall in the category of the ransom, pay the ransom. Don't even think about fasting because you ain't going to get no reward from Allah. Allah never orders us to do anything without Shaytan trying to push you to either be overzealous with it or be negligent. Your personal jinn comes to your heart. Like I told you, he lives in your heart. He can see what's in there. If he sees that you're strong, he'll push you to be a fanatic, like he pushes many of my students. But if he sees that you're weak in your faith, then he'll make you just stop praying, stop fasting, and not care. Also, your personal jinn opens the door to reinterpretations. What does that mean? Misconstruing the meaning of those hadiths, misconstruing the verses of the Quran. You can't teach yourself this religion. The Prophet Muhammad said you have to ask the people of knowledge. He didn't teach himself. Jibril taught him. And he taught the companions. I didn't teach myself. I got many teachers. Subhanallah. So your personal jinn opens the door to misinterpretation. We have to avoid that as Muslims. Also, another means that your jinn will use to take you away, and this is very common today. He gives beautiful names to bad things. For example, when Iblis duped Adam alayhi salam and his wife Eve, the tree that Allah told Adam and Eve to stay away from, Shaytan told them that's the tree of immortality, because he knew that that's the one thing that Adam and all mankind seek. We all want immortality. So he told him, if you eat the fruit, it'll give you immortality. And that's how it appealed to him. So Shaytan, as Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, he said, "Oh Adam, shall I not show you the tree of immortality and power?" Adam fell for it. Adam fell for it. So he'll give beautiful names to bad things like dreadlocks. Dreadlocks are haram, haram, haram. I've given all the dalil on that. I've given all the authentic hadiths on that. Not no fatwa. The Prophet Muhammad said that. Anyone that walks around with his hair locked and knotted up, you look, number one, that's how the jinn do. The jinn walk around with their hair locked and knotted up and don't comb through it. The Prophet said anyone who has hair, he has to comb through it. That's the meaning. You got to learn the Arabic, the Fusha. A lot of these hadiths are translated in a weaker way because the English is not like the Arabic. That's why you have to have a person who knows Fusha, like Laila Nasheeba got. Dr. Asim is a scholar of the Fusha. That's my cousin too. Hello. Sheikh Morsi is a scholar of the Fusha. And I can call in at them and say, what is this hadith saying here? The hadith says anyone who has hair should oil it and comb through it. You can't comb through no locks. You cannot comb through locks. So you take the name dread away. And what they call it now? Sister locks. Just because you call it sister locks don't make it lawful. It's still haram. What about birthdays? Celebrating birthdays is haram. This is an act of shirk. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right when he was dying, he said, may Allah curse the Christians and Jews. He said, and don't you do to me what they did to my brother Jesus. Okay? By making me out to be more than what I am, celebrating me. Okay? Birthdays are haram. So what do Muslims do? Instead of us saying happy birthday, what do we say? Happy born day. Just because you change the word from birth to born does not make it lawful. It's still haram. You're still worshiping a human being. You're still celebrating the birth of a human being when that human being had nothing to do with his birth. So that's an example. Those are examples as to how Shaytan will give pleasing names to haram things. For example, dancing. Dancing is called an art. Interest. Interest is called a profit. Plays. Nudity. Nudity, pornography is called an art now. So those are examples as to how Shaitan gives good names to bad things to make you fall victim to them. So when we look at all this, we ask ourselves, how can I win the battle? This is the third week of Ramadan. This is the third week. Your fitra has been awakened. Your fitra is burning strong. Your soul has cringed up because you're taming it. You're training it to submit to Allah. But you still got that jinn assigned to your heart, trying to pull you away from Allah. So how can you win the battle? Well, the greatest thing that can be used as a defense against him is to stick to the Quran and the authentic hadiths. This is something that I'm always telling the people here. Get away from fatwa. Fatwa is just somebody's opinion. Islam only has two sources. If something is haram, there will be a verse that clearly says it. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the lawful and the unlawful have been clearly defined by Allah. So if I'm going to tell you dreadlocks are haram, I'm bringing the dalil. I'm giving you the authentic hadith from Sahih Bukhari, where the Prophet said anyone who has hair should be able to comb through it. That's it. So any type of lock that you can't comb through is haram, period, dot. So stick to the Quran, stick to the authentic hadiths, and then you don't fall into these traps. Don't try to sit there and pull the hadiths apart. Don't try to misconstrue them. Ask the people of knowledge. Ask the people of knowledge. Like the Prophet said, ask the people of knowledge and accept what they say when they give you the clear evidence. Because the Quran and the hadith represent the straight path. And again, it is Iblis that's going to pull you away from it. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. Shaytan, he commands you saying, and what Allah commands you saying, this is my straight path, so follow it. Do not follow any other ways or you will be parted away from it. This is what Allah has ordained for you. Whereas Shaytan guys will come and tell you, no, that ain't the straight path. This woman's crazy. This is cultural. Ain't nothing wrong with dreadlocks. You know you wash your hair every day. You know you oil it. Yeah, but can you comb through it? Can you comb through it? No. Okay, follow the straight path. Also, the prophet explained this verse. He drew a line with his hand. He said, this is the straight path of Allah. Then he drew a line to the left, a line to the right. He said, all these other paths have devils calling people to them. So stay away from them. So that's how we win the battle. And I want all of you listening to me to understand. We're going in the third week. It's all about recognizing what your weaknesses and strengths are. It's all about honing in on your weaknesses and correcting them, making them better. Don't fall victim to Shaytan. Make it a pledge that from this moment on, you're going to live your life. Whoa, 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 whoa. Following the Quran and the Sunnah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Put that in your head. I'm going to live my life based on what Allah said, based on what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And if something is not clear, I will only accept the understanding that the companions had about it. If the companions didn't have that understanding, then I'd separate myself from anybody else's. That should be the pledge you guys make in this third week of Ramadan. And then you stick to it. You honor it. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm going to tell you, your life will be better. All right? Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. I hope this is clear to everyone, including the children. All these twisted ideologies that people come to you with, understand the only ideology that any of us should have is the ideology that Allah sent with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not this other twisted crap where you got people playing with the words of Allah, people playing with Islam. Everybody understand that? All right, any questions? Comments? Is it clear? Okay, any questions? MashaAllah. Thank you for going on Twitch, Norto. By the way, guys, I got a lot of followers on Twitch, and we got mostly good kids that come in there, but there's always a couple, we get a couple of the gamers, but thank God Norto took care of them. Okay, go ahead, Sister Howard. She said, a sister wants to know if she is spotting. Yes. I want you guys to know that take the word spotting away from your vocabulary. There's no such thing as spotting. It's called menses. Menses. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what's the source? What's the source? Sahih Bukhari. He said a woman's menses is not determined by the number of days in which she bleeds. It's not even determined by how frequent she bleeds. A woman's menses is determined by the color of the blood. So if you are a female and you see red, black, brown, pink, or yellow coming out of you, you're on your menses. So you sisters are gonna have to accept that. Like I told y'all, the 4 imams got it wrong. The 4 imams got that wrong. And this is where I tell y'all, this is where the problems come following these madhabs. No one can overrule what the Prophet Muhammad said, not even a 4 imam. As Aisha radiallahu anha said, you women have to stop rushing it. You women have to learn to accept the qadr of Allah. This is another way that Shaytan dupes you. He wants you to fast on your period. You want to know why he wants you to do it? Because Shaytan knows that any woman who fasts or pray on her period has the curse of Allah on her. See how Shaytan works? He wants you to get cursed. He wants you to be cursed. So if you got anything coming out of your body that's like I just described, you sisters are on your period. And like Aisha kept telling them over and over again, because they would keep sending her all these cottons. She said, you on your period. Stop sending me that crap. You know, accept the qadr of Allah. And you wait till it's over. And then you pray. Then you fast. And whatever days you missed, you make them up. That's extremism. That's another example of how Shaytan, like I told you guys, this is my opinion here. I worked with jinns for the past 36 years. I really believe that every female has a female jinn assigned to her. That's how your female jinn is trying to dupe you. She's trying to make you think, giving pleasing names to what's haram. Instead of calling it a menses, we're going to call it spotting. Spotting? You're still on your menses, sister. You can call it spotting. You can call it half-stepping. You can call it skipping. It's still a menses if it's got that color that I just went over. Everybody understand? All right, here's another question. After the menses, yes, a woman can wear her hair in braids, okay? And mashallah, most of my African sisters, y'all are the pros with that. Y'all are good with them braids going on. Get it going on. I wish I could wear braids. Let me tell y'all something. I've been trying, I can't wear braids. I don't look right. What's that name they call me, Latifah, when I wear braids? They got this name here where I live on the East Coast called Cleveland. I used to try to wear French braids in my hair to look, I love the braids. They call me a wigger. That's an insult. I don't know if y'all ever heard. That's a name here in Cleveland called wigger. So I don't try to wear braids no more. I don't look right. Okay. But you sisters got it going on with them braids. Yes. But the only thing with the braids, after your menses, you take them loose and wash your hair. Now with the braids, if you're married, you know, you can run like when you, after relations with your husband, you know, you can just let the water run through it. You ain't got to take them loose. The Prophet's wives used to wear their hair in braids. Oh yeah, they would put it in braids. Okay, but after your menses, you sisters have to take it loose. Okay. Y'all understand that? Yeah, so take your braids loose after your menses and wash your hair and everything. Islam is all about cleanliness. You know, we have to be clean in our appearance. Allah is beauty. Allah loves beauty. He likes for us to be beautiful in our appearance in the home and outside the home, not just in the home. Even when you walk outside the home, you sisters should be beautiful in your appearance. The Prophet's wives, I did the stories of the heroines of Islam, all the female companions, they were beautiful women. All the hadiths speak of their beauty. These women made sure that they were presentable. They were women of dignity. They were beautiful when they left the home. They were beautiful in the home. That's something that Arabic women have a gift of doing. They know how to tame you down. They're attractive in the home and outside the home. Okay? Yeah, that's why you don't see that much polygamy with them. What One of the sisters say, that's true because them Arab sisters, their husbands don't be doing the gammy. It's the non-Arab sisters. Yeah, them Arab women know what to do. Okay, they're beautiful. Allah loves beauty. And whenever we do things to please Allah, in turn, Allah will cause your husbands to love you. Whenever you're doing things to cause your Allah to love you, he will make your husband loves you. That's why those Arab sisters in the Emirates got their men tied down. Yeah, you don't see those brothers over there in the Emirates with no 2, 3, 4 wives. Them women got their husbands tied down and they spoiled. They riding around in their Mercedes. Hello, tell them where that. Riding around in their Mercedes in Kuwait and the Emirates. Yeah, men tied down. Women know what to do. You Western women better learn what to do. Take them dreadlocks out of your hair. Don't no man want to come home and look at Medusa. What makes you sisters think that Medusa, it was ever attractive? Don't no man want no Medusa? Are you crazy? Yeah. Yeah, any other questions? Go ahead. In the Zoom room, are there any, Sister Fame or Awa? Is there any in the Zoom?
You already answered that question.
Okay.
She was asking if she can fast or pray while she's spotting blood, but you did answer that question.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, for the sisters with this menses stuff, y'all got to understand, it's all about cleanliness. First of all, you sisters need to go to doctors. A lot of the Muslim women, especially from Africa culture, y'all don't go to doctors. And I don't understand why y'all don't do that. Because if a woman is clotting and all of that, that's a sign that something is wrong with you. Like the Prophet Muhammad said, if you got all that clotting coming out of you, that is definitely a menses. And that's also a sign that something is wrong with you. Because you shouldn't be letting out clots and all that. So you sisters are going to have to break down and start going to the doctor. As the Prophet Muhammad said, go to the doctor to get checked out. A lot of women, the cases, and Dr. Ali can tell y'all this, a lot of the cases of cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer is on the rise. And this type of cancer can be controlled if you catch it early. But a lot of you sisters from Africa, y'all don't go seek medical help. And so now you've been clotting blood for years, and now you got to have a hysterectomy because you got cancer of the of your uterus. When your doctor will tell you that could have been treated if you had came in the beginning. So you sisters should be going to a gynecologist once a year at least to get a pap test. For you women that are married, y'all should be going to the doctor on a regular basis. Every woman over the age of 18 should be having a pap test every year. Pap test is what detects cancer. And they have advanced in technology today that there's no excuse for you sisters. Y'all got to go to a doctor. Okay? All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right, guys. I apologize for my class being late, but I do have another class at 11, inshallah. My class on the keys to living Islam. I'm going to log back in a couple of hours, in 2 hours, to do living Islam, inshallah. So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Look at this. It's settled to the bottom. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Ooh, it's settled. Oh, y'all see, I had my coffee sitting there. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa